Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition. Thank you once again for joining us on Friday for your weekend. A lot to talk about, including our Positive Action Coalition, what we're doing out across the country with our top nonprofits, our Purpose Pioneers, many more so on the online front, and also in our big rebuilding effort nationwide. With our coalition. Very excited to tell you more about it. But before we begin, I want to bring on the one, the only, Sherry Watson, to take us away for Purpose Fridays.
Hey, I have to remind everyone, it's happy hour with a purpose. That's what this is all about. And so today, so much gratitude for the people that have stepped forward and are being part of leading the Positive Action Coalition. We've been building up to it, you guys, and the coalition is comprised of nonprofits all over the country that are even doing projects worldwide. We have some for-profit real estate companies that have joined us. They're coming in on the rebuilding efforts. We have different relief efforts going on. We have a warehouse in Houston. Yesterday, we had one of our great students send a video saying, please help us in Santa Rosa, and sent a video of the devastation with the fires. So you guys, it's happy hour with a purpose, and there are times that we get together with happy hour, and how do we support our friends? We need to embrace them. This is the same thing. This has been a journey for the Power of Purpose to now bring all of our nonprofits together with our mission to launch and empower at least 10,000 nonprofits. The logical next step from my journey, 35 years in this, and with the disability movement, is now to lead a movement. And so the coalition formed. We met in Albuquerque. Like Derek said, the Purpose Pioneers came together. And you guys, you can be a part of it too. So, watching Ellen, watching Steve, Harvey, doesn't matter. You see them bringing people on in Puerto Rico, people in Key West, people in Houston, and that's what our coalition is comprised of. And they all say, even $1 makes a difference. So we've set up Positive Action Platform. Mr. Skip Thomas and Derek Watson have been a part of that. Jesse is a big part. So go to Positive Action Platform, you guys, and donate $1. Write in what you can do to help, how we're going to bring communities together. And not only rebuilding devastated areas, the coalition is the beginning of a movement to rebuild our broken systems. In the medical model, we're bringing in telehealth with our students. Marianne's with us. I see Marianne's working with folks who are homeless in Chicago, and not those homeless. Marianne is just part of who we are. It's about empowering. It's about lifting up. She has people on her board who are homeless. So this movement is about lifting this country to new heights and bringing new solutions to old problems, making sense economically of how we spend our dollars. It's our tax dollars that fund the VA. It's our tax dollars that fund the different agencies. So now the coalition is a group that's coming together, and we're asking questions. We're saying, does it make sense? And it's been an amazing journey, Derek. And I just have to do a shout out at the very beginning, you guys, when we all gathered together in Albuquerque with our mastermind, with our Purpose Pioneers, and really birth a movement that's going to change this world forever for good. The next step was to bring us all together. And so you guys, we're doing the first annual Purpose Summit. And if you haven't joined us, we're almost sold out. I found out this morning a few more. This Purpose Summit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where all of us can come together Congress, legislators, nonprofit leaders, folks who are part of the movement, veterans, people who've aged out of the foster care system that are now involved in bringing solutions. So come and join us, because when we met with our team this week, the reminder that 30 years ago, when the disability movement, we lived only in nursing homes and institutions. There weren't even curb cuts. We couldn't even get out if we wanted. Our summit, the first time we all came together, was where we formed a movement that eventually led to the creation and passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Think of what we can do as a community, all of us, as a coalition, what we can do coming together and taking all of our strengths and all of our dreaming and scheming together and go out into the world. So join us, Derek. I don't know if we still have tickets, but can they still go to Purpose Summit 2017?
PurposeSummit2017.com. We have just a handful left. Those of you that have been getting our emails, been following us on Facebook, it's amazing. The feedback's been incredible. We are practically just about sold out. So we are probably going to be closing that down by the end of the day today. But one more time, while we have you been talking about the last few weeks, we'd love to see you there. But please get your tickets. Call the office today, because we've been getting a big rush this week. We're 2 weeks away from today. Very, very exciting. But we are going to be sold out. So we can't wait to see you there. It's going to be an incredible event with our team, special guest speakers within our circle, in the nonprofit industry, the world of philanthropy, social entrepreneurs, business leaders, experts in their field, people from the investment world, all geared around, nonprofit, for-profit partnerships, and just making a big impact out there with our Positive Action Coalition leading the way. Many of whom, members or Purpose Pioneers, will be in attendance. So that's another great thing we're so excited about, is we have Purpose Pioneers like Marianne, for example, who's with us today, and Skip. It will be that cover people at our event, get to rub shoulders with them, see what the incredible things that they're doing, and how you can network and work together, and again, work all in conjunction with our coalition. So very, very exciting. 2 weeks from today, can't believe it's almost here. It's so crazy.
And Derek, the reason I was like, I got to put this on the front burner today when we talk, because happy hour, what do? We get together and talk about, hey, there's this new are you going to the concert in 2 weeks? Man, where can we get tickets? Let's all go together. Well, this is like the biggest event we've ever done, that we're taking on the world by the storm. We're reshaping the fabric of America, right? Well, it's going to be so much fun too. I mean, this is happy hour. And Derek, when I was talking to you guys this morning, and you guys were at the hotel and got some surprises, we have a keynote speaker that's going to blow your mind. We can't spill the beans yet, but I'm blown away with the keynote speaker we're bringing in, just to get us all just in that right frame, that let go of fear, any kind of things that are holding us back, the power of our mind. I'm reading Psycho-Cybernetics again, and just reminds me, you guys, there's nothing we can't do together. There's nothing we can't solve. There's nothing we can. It's time to break the cycles of poverty, the cycle, the recidivism rates. We pay the corrections department because our tax dollars fund them. 80% recidivism rate? What's going on? When I'm sitting there every day, all day, talking to our different students, our Purpose Pioneers, and Tim, who does veterans housing, and talks to me about a gentleman in his home that's a veteran, that's been homeless, that's been lost for so long. He now has a place to live. He's been helping him rebuild homes for other veterans. He got his first job last week. He's now employed, loving life, making a difference. That's what we're about. That's what the summit's going to be about. It's how all of us can come together and get the funding, get the financial resources so that we can go out and bring those changes. So Derek, after talking to you this morning, and I know in the keynote speaker, we've got some entertainment lined up, the New Mexico entertainment. Marianne was part of that. Marianne got to, isn't that New Mexico entertainment fun, Marianne?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So you guys come and join us together. Let's come forward with solutions that are going to be a difference for my grandkids. I'm in Denver now with my grandkids, and those two little guys, I look at them and think, wow, if we don't step and make a difference, what's the world going to look like? We have to leave the world in a better place for our future generations. So, Marianne, Richard, I see just what everybody's doing. We planned Giving Tuesday campaigns when we were at our live event. And Marianne, I've already been talking to folks. Christina, they're already launching. Cindy, we did a Giving Tuesday success class that Derek led last week. And we already have 2 students that are doing the unselfie campaigns leading into Giving Tuesday. So guys, we're on the move. We have folks all over the country that are making an impact, that are making a difference. So come and join us. And Marianne, I can't wait to hear what all you're doing. It's like every day. It's not even every week things change. It's like daily things are changing.
You want me to talk about it now?
Yeah.
Actually, I have my my first mailing campaign going out next week. 500 letters, and I've selected the certain parts of Chicago, the ones I know, where I have a better opportunity to get some buildings. And I've been talking to other nonprofits about what I'm doing, and I'll be able to about partnering with them in the future. So that's what I keep talking about whenever I meet somebody.
And you guys, I see a lot of new folks. I'm so happy to have you. I didn't even start out saying, welcome to the Power of Purpose. We're on such a roll. But you guys, what Marianne's talking about, part of the mentoring that we do in our mastermind, the way we bring funding to our nonprofits, the most untapped, greatest revenue stream is through charitable giving of real estate. And Derek and his team have developed a system now. They have proprietary software, locate the great properties that would be for that. We have a call center. The system is amazing. So again, you guys get connected with us. You'll learn more. So that's what Marianne's talking about. Going through the software, the letters are embedded in it, everything. And you click a button, you have your logo, you talk about your nonprofit, and then you send the letters out and the phone gets caught ringing. And Marianne can attest. One of our other mastermind students, our Purpose Pioneer Tim, he probably has, $2-3 million worth of real estate now that was donated. He had a assisted living home that was donated. He made an offer on it, like a bargain sale. And they said, okay, we'll take it. We'll split the taxes. He walked out with the deed free and clear to a huge nursing home and a $23,000 check. That's what we're doing at the Power of Purpose, you guys. And that Marianne's going to be able to come on and tell you about some of the things that are happening from her letter campaign. So you guys, not only is it about making a difference and doing something great, it's about bringing the financial resources to you. My dad always did mission work, made a difference, touched everybody, and he always taught me that you must take care of yourself before you take care of others. So it's not just about volunteering and donating, and it's about we're all coming together to bring revenue sources. So the charitable giving of real estate, Giving Tuesday, Derek shared on the thing, that's $200 million was raised last year in one day for nonprofits. So you have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. So join us Let's come together and be a part of that movement that is bringing change. We have to, you guys. When I was meeting with a student a couple of days ago, and he's working with young kids in the juvenile justice center system, and he talked about if all these little guys he's working with could just have a mentor, if his nonprofit, just bringing them in to give them hope, show them they have a career path. He said he goes in and asks them, so what do you want to do with your life? And they're like, I don't know, I never thought about it. And he'll look on the wall, and there's 5 pictures, and it's his grandpa, his dad, his uncle, his brothers, and they have on yellow and green jumpsuits. They've all been in prison, you know, yellow or green. Are you going to be for life? Or when you're a kid, you go into the adult prison. We're not breaking that cycle, you know? And so that's part of what this Purpose Pioneer and the Mastermind and the Purpose Summit's going to be about. Just like I did 20 years ago when I came back home to New Mexico, kept called into the nursing homes because I was a poster child, had been in D.C., led a national organization on disability, we did ADA, and I moved home, and I keep getting called, will you come to this nursing home and see this young kid? I'd go in, doors, we're spending 90% of our tax dollars, our money, on institutions, nursing homes. Why? And so we just went and talked to our leaders. Our leaders actually are public servants. We hire them because we vote for them, and we pay their wages, right? We pay taxes. So to go to them and bring a common sense business solution, why can't folks move home and hire an attendant? So we create a job, and instead of paying $400,000 a year to be warehoused in this place, it's costing $14,000 a year. Plus, we created a job. Those are the kind of common sense solutions. Education. Our kids are so lost. I met with the group last night. We were talking about they're not taught budgeting. They're not taught basic skills. We're 39th in the world in education. Our poor teachers are so stressed. More and more is put on them. How can we come together and support our teachers and help our future generations? So again, Marianne, Richard, Skip, Derek, I can go on forever and ever, just like you guys know, with all the different folks you're working with and systems you're working with that are so broken, that spend money so crazy, and that disempower people, did not give us hope. Our suicide rates are out of this world. Our drug overdose from prescription drugs, the #1 killer in this country. I mean, this is supposed to be a happy hour, so I'm taking you down this spiral. But think about now, let's get the happy part. You guys, we can change all that. We did. That's why I get so excited. We with disabilities, you guys, we are the lowest man on the totem pole. We had no money. We had no voice. We had no political power. And yet we changed the world in the biggest way that's ever been seen. The most sweeping civil rights legislation in the history of the world by a little group of folks who believed, a group of folks who said nothing about us without us. And that's what the Purpose Pioneers are leading. That's why you have to come to Purpose Summit, because we talk about all the things that are wrong. But what happens is then we all rise up together, and it's like, woo, we can fix it. We can change it. We can bring solutions together. There's nothing we can't do. So there I go. Am I going from where we are to where we can go?
Exactly. Well, that's a great point. And speaking of the Purpose Summit, you're going to hear from Mom here, from Sherry Watson, on that very front, essentially of what's happening right now. Okay, like right now, current snapshot time, what's working now, what's happening out there, and of course, moving forward, how is everything changing? The trends, the new innovations. We're talking a lot about, she brought up Giving Tuesday, for example, if you were with us last week on our training we did, on our Giving Tuesday Success training, where we discussed really just that, on the future of how it's online driven in such a big way. It's grassroots, like the movement she led, several decades ago. Same thing here. It's a grassroots movement, but it's online driven, and it's big on social media, and it's just a huge trend. So that, among a whole host of other things, as we're moving forward, is the snapshot right now, what's happening, what's working, and then for the future, moving forward, what to look out for, what to get involved with, incorporating those strategies. So a lot of it's going to be discussed at the summit.
Well, and you guys, we built up to the last few weeks with the Positive Action platform, and again, saying, go and share how you can support, whether it's Houston, whether it's Florida, whether it's Puerto Rico, whether it's Las Vegas, California. Right now, the hurt is everywhere. And so come and be a part of it and leading the rebuilding that's going on. And so, Derek, on that, it started with Houston for us. And I see a lot of you new folks on. We had a mastermind with our Purpose Pioneers in July, the end of July. And half of them, Marianne, were from Texas. And when we started seeing what was happening, Natty started calling and texting, and folks were hurting. Folks were on rooftops. Folks were waiting to be rescued. And that's when the tugging at our hearts and saying, what can we do? How can we be more of a support? How can we? And that's how the coalition was born. So it started with Houston before we even knew about Puerto Rico, before Las Vegas, before the fires. So Richard, I see you with us. Richard has an amazing nonprofit because of his purpose in leading that. And Richard has a nonprofit, Jack's Place. And again, the purpose is so deep. And he's in Houston. And so again, one of the first ones that came in with the coalition saying, gotta help. And so our support, Marianne, Skip, Derek, and I, the Power of Purpose, the Positive Action platform, is to provide the support to the troops on the ground. Richard, Camilla, we have so many nonprofits in Houston. We're getting the money to them. Who knows better how to rebuild their own community than the community members? We don't need it from the top down, and we're having questions now. The coalition, that $15 billion that Congress appropriated, where's the money? That 70-some million that the mayor and the judge raised through a GoFundMe, where's the money? And so that's our job as a coalition, to provide advocacy. And we had one of our students who's a mayor in Texas on with us last week, and she said it's time to ask questions. It's time to call the media in. She said, as a mayor, we don't want bad press. And so how can we raise the awareness and bring the troops on the ground, like we have Richard, so that we get them funding, so we get them the supports they need in the rebuilding. So Richard, it's great to have you on, and man, whatever we can do, we're here.
Oh, I appreciate that. Hi, Sherry, Derek, Marianne, Skip. How's everybody?
Hey, Richard, how are you? You and Skip, you guys are always on the go. I love it. Every time we get you on.
Yeah. I'm between my clients right now, so. But I wanted to ask one question, or actually, and tell you something that happened yesterday. That I'm trying to work out going to the summit. I'm not. There's like several conflicting things. So I'm trying to work something out where if I do come, it'd probably be in the middle of the afternoon on Saturday, and maybe be able to stay through Sunday. So I just want to make sure that if I was able to work that out, that it would still be. I know what kind of content you guys put on, and it's always great. So I just want to make sure that, if I miss at least half of it, that I'm still I should still come up there. So there's a possibility I may be able to still come up there. So.
Oh, amazing. There you go, everyone. Once again, we have another Purpose Pioneer looking at coming in the summit. So we got a lot of them coming in, you guys, and you get to network and meet them. They're just amazing. Yes, this is going to be, content. We're going to have panels. We're going to have fireside chats. We have our fund manager, one of our members of our team with 2 law degrees who's worked in socially conscious businesses and nonprofits coming. So yes, absolutely. It's going to be great. And not just on the content side, but networking, getting together, and planning, and a lot of scheming and dreaming out there too.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I was going to say, I got a call or a text yesterday from someone because I have my real estate business where I do marketing, and also been marketing, with the nonprofit, having the calls come into you guys. And I got a text from one of the ladies that I had mailed to with my real estate business, and it's an empty lot. It's not an area that's being built or anything. So, but she wasn't ready to sell at the time. But she texted me back and she said, "Okay, the lot's for sale again, and you're the first person we called to begin with. So I wanted to give you a shot if you're interested." And she said, she gave me a price, and she said, "This is the price firm, but what?" And she said, the money that we get is going to go to 4 nonprofit organizations in the Houston area. And she said, if we end up not selling it, then we're going to just donate it to an organization that can use it. And so, I'm like, well, let me think of an organization that could use it.
Yeah.
So I texted her back, and I said, well, yeah, absolutely, we're interested. And I gave her a little information about what we're doing, and we can take, donations of real estate, and, I called it my acquisitions team, that they can help her all the way through closing. And so I'm waiting to hear back from her, but I just thought that was interesting. That was her.
Oh, wow.
Oh, excellent. Yes. What a great case study as well. We talk about, we'll be discussing real estate at the summit in a big way. Our Purpose Pioneers are heavily engaged with it because it's so incredibly niche. And it just goes to show you, too, about the education gap. From somebody with a donor who's looking to sell the property, most likely at a discount, right? Incur all those taxes, and then divvy it up for the nonprofit versus just donating it over to the nonprofit, right? And writing off the entire full market value of the property versus the other route. It makes so much more business sense, especially if they're a company or it's corporate owned. It makes so much more business sense to do it this way than with the way they are proposing to do it right now as it stands.
Yeah. So and having that available is always I've on the real estate side of using it as a plan B if it's somebody who's older, somebody who is somebody who doesn't. So if the real estate marketing turns into something similar to this, then obviously I have with what you guys have put together, a plan B to attack it from that side if it works out. So definitely have a whole new set of tools and arsenal to try to try to get properties, whether it's on the profit side or the nonprofit side. So.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like we do, I love to hear more about it. It's brand new. I love to hear more about that.
Yep.
Great.
So, and for those of you, I see a lot of new folks. Richard came to us with a deep purpose. With his wife had type 1 diabetes, and they found out his young son. And as they started trying to find the education, what always touches my heart, Richard, was when you talked about even at school cafeterias, there's no type of education. There's definitely no type of meals for kids with type 1 diabetes. And so as we launched his nonprofit and to provide education, peer support, then when all this happened with the flooding in Houston, Richard really opened our eyes saying, what about all the kids that need their insulin and the medications, and their families' cars got flooded, their house got flooded. And he said, and even if they could, the 3 pharmacies around me are flooded. So taken again, I want all of you to hear this, leading the nonprofit, expanding that mission when something like that happens. For now, Richard to say, now we've got to go out and make sure that the families have the kind of medical supplies they need for their kids. So that's what you can be a part of, is bring in some common sense solutions to people that are hurting that make sense. So I just want to back them up a little bit, Richard, because what you're doing is just so needed throughout this country. They talk about the obesity with kids, the diabetes. The Centers for Disease Control is giving funding for nonprofits that are doing diabetes education. And that's what Richard is leading.
Yeah. So, yeah, we found that a whole lot of places when you're out and about, don't have nutritional information. And, when you're diabetic, when you're type 1 diabetic, you have to know how many carbs, among other things. The carbs are the main thing you have to take insulin for. And there are a lot of restaurants or a lot of places, they just don't have it. So we have to guess. And, and we can best guess it. And we've had a lot of experience, but you still, if you have the closer numbers, then you're going to keep the blood sugar more regulated, and that ends up making for a healthier person. So getting those numbers close. So yeah, a lot of restaurants, a lot of they'll say, oh well, we can make food any way you want. Just tell us. Well, we're dealing with type 1 diabetes here, so there's not a lot you can do other than giving us some nutritional info. So yeah, actually the new owner of the Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, owns a ton of restaurants in the Houston area. And we know that a lot of his restaurants don't have that information. So that's one of our first places we're gonna hit up and see what we can do to maybe have those guys put that stuff out. He owns, if there's a big restaurant around town, he owns it. He owns outdoor amusement parks. He owns all kinds of stuff. And of course now he owns the Rockets. So, we'll have to see, and with the Rockets, you have Toyota Center, you got a whole nother slew of things that's under his ownership. So that's going to be one of the first places we talk to and see what we can do to get that information out there.
Now, you guys, did you hear Richard? I've always said the number one key to success in leading in your nonprofit and getting very well funded, that you're funded, that it's your position. When people go, oh, you shouldn't take money from a nonprofit. A nonprofit is a corporation. I would rather be a salaried person leading a nonprofit that's making a difference than working for corporate America and making someone else a billionaire. Okay, so I want you to understand the nonprofit is a corporation. Leave your job and lead a corporation that's making a difference and taking care of you and your family. So when Richard just talked about the Rockets and gentlemen, so many folks like that have foundations, just like Bill and Melinda Gates and all the different Rockefeller and Ford and all the foundations. They have foundations that they grant money to nonprofit corporations. Okay, to keep their tax status, they must grant money, a certain percentage, to nonprofits. Again, when I talk about we're together, the Purpose Pioneers, the Mastermind, that looking and bringing all the different diversified funding through charitable giving of real estate, through foundations, through government grants, through fee for service. So I bring that up, Richard, to check with, if he has a foundation, he could fund you then to then go out and do all this. Because I just this morning met with a gentleman that works at Carmacks. We were talking about the nonprofits and everything, and he's going, Carmacks has a foundation, one of the largest foundations. Whoever would have thought of that? And he said, yeah, in our big showroom in Denver, they have a big marquee inside. All it does is talk about their foundation. So when you're sitting there talking to someone at Carmacks, it's talking about the Carmacks Foundation, supporting veterans, what they do. So you guys, this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to lead your business in a nonprofit corporation, just like an LLC, C Corp, S Corp. The nonprofit is a corporation that has access to more streams of funding than a for-profit. Plus, you can make an impact and bring solutions to fix our country that's hurting right now. So, Richard, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I saw the Carmacks thing, I was like, whoa, look into that, okay?
Yeah. And a little FYI, I was gonna try to buy the Rockets, but I only had 2.1 billion. So Tillman beat me out by like $100 million. So.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah. And Richard, you just verified my point. How many people work to just pay their rent and buy groceries to make him a multi-billionaire, where they could be leading a nonprofit corporation and partnering with him and accessing funding to do something major. I love it.
Yeah, and along with with being connected with you guys, we're inadvertently, it just kind of comes with the territory. You guys know that better than us, I think. But as we talk to people, people closer to us, if we don't know people that well, they seem to be interested in what we're doing. And if people are close to it, the closer ones to us, they're like, wait a minute, nonprofit, what is it? You can't, they have that stigma, that everyone else does. The closer they are to you, you have to educate them about what's really going on with the nonprofit and the structure and how it works and all that. So anyway.
Oh, I love it, Richard. You guys, I look on the Power Purpose Facebook page, and there'll be comments like, "Oh, you can't make money in a nonprofit. You shouldn't get paid a salary." And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if this country was built more with nonprofits, we'd have a whole different set of solutions, and our money would be spent so much wiser than just people sitting back and whining and complaining about the system and the government. And they forget we're the people. We're the government. And shame on us for not going to meet with state legislators, for not bringing the solutions forward like we do in the business world. So the nonprofit corporation, for people like Inc. Magazine to bring us in to do training for entrepreneurs that have socially conscious endeavors, set up your business in a nonprofit corporation. One of the leaders from the health food stores stepped down. He was president and stepped down and set up the first nonprofit grocery store in the Boston area that has organic and healthy food in a real low-income community, because he realized, folks, you can't go pay $3 extra for a bag of carrots because it's organic when you can barely buy groceries for your kids. And so he stepped forward and said, you know what? I can lead a grocery store. I can make the money, and I can serve people in a bigger way through the nonprofit corporation. We have folks from Silicon Valley now working with us that have now realized setting up their business in a nonprofit corporation, they're doing assistive technology, they're bringing their inventions to folks with disabilities. They have more revenue streams available, not investors, not the VC firms. They're able to access capital in a way that empowers their corporation to be able to bring their services to people with disabilities who couldn't have afforded to pay the high dollars when the VC firm came in. You guys, a nonprofit corporation, I built my life around that for 30-some years. I built my businesses in that. And it's been an amazing journey. I've lived on purpose, and financially, we've had a very great life. I've lived in abundance, because when you're out there making a difference, when you're out there helping others, it comes back 10 times over. And there's no amount of fulfillment that you can have that multi-million-dollar check sitting there. When you have folks that their lives have changed, they're living at home now, they're teaching their grandkids Navajo again, they're bringing the culture back versus living in a white man's nursing home, crying, tied up to a bar. There's no amount of money, and we made great money, but that's what this is about. And that's what fires me up, is you can make money and bring those kind of solutions and impact. And it's so cool to be able to sit back and be the facilitator and have 5 folks with disabilities that lived in nursing homes rolling up in their wheelchairs up to the legislature, and them testifying while you sit in the audience, and them talking about what it's like having a real home. And the Legislative Finance Committee loved you because you, as a nonprofit, brought a solution that brought the state to be the first state that had a positive Medicaid budget. So there's economics, there's an impact to everybody in this country and you're empowering folks. I know I get on rolls about that. You guys are just, I can't even explain when I sit with multimillionaires. Derek and I, a while back, met with a multi-billionaire, and when they sit there, 65 years old, and get emotional and tell us, I've complicated my life. Yeah, I've made a lot of money. Yeah, lots of stuff. But what's my life about? Now I'm asking, what's my legacy? Don't wait till you're 65 or 70. You have the opportunity. I found out at 22 what purpose is. And I found out that's way more important than just living and getting a good job and making money. And that's what the nonprofit. So don't wait. Come and join us, you guys. It's such a blessing to have Marianne, Richard. I see Corliss with us. Brandon's with us. The most amazing purpose consultant, our director of nonprofit development. He's a veteran. He's leading it from having lived it. It's amazing. You guys come and join us. And I see Corliss, Derek. Hey,
Hi,
Corliss.
How are you? Let's see if we can get Corliss on.
And Richard, thanks for everything you're doing, man. We're gonna keep sending everyone to a positive action platform. Donate. We're gonna get the funds to Richard, to Marianne, to Corliss, the troops on the ground, and they'll be reporting the transparency, spending the money wisely. You're gonna know where your money's going, the kind of impact, and you know who's leading it. So go donate. Living Legacy Institute is a nonprofit. The money goes there, and then the money gets divvied out. So, Corliss, I love seeing you on here. How are you?
Doing great. Just leaving one of my schools, one of the partnered schools, and basically they were about to. I'm sorry, I'm driving. They're about to give me the 5 families, so we have agreed to meet at a place near them, near the families, because several of them don't have transportation. So we are excited about that. One of the schools has not reached out to us yet, so I said to the principal, if they don't reach out, then you get 10 families instead of just 5, because I can't get into a school unless they open the school to us. So she's excited. The other thing that I'm really excited about is I have a dealership in the city of Houston that has donated a car for us to use to raffle off for an immediate hit of funds to start to help our families. So we're excited about that. But to hear about the Carmacks Foundation, that would be extremely exciting, especially if we can just get them to not donate, but if they sell us their cars at cost plus something, we can get some of these families into cars that don't have transportation. So that's exciting.
Woo. And you guys, again, to back up, because we all get on, we're so excited to see each other and what's going on. Corliss is from Houston and leads a nonprofit called Family Matters. And so she went and started meeting with the kids in the schools and seeing there's not even school supplies. I mean, everything got, so Corliss, my first talk was taking school supplies and the trucks and delivering them to the schools. And now she's reaching out and bringing the families in that have lost everything. And Corliss, that's so awesome about the car. I thought about you today with Carmacks. When we watched the Houston game, football game the other day, and that I love football. When we watched it, and they panned to this lot, like miles and miles, and all these cars sitting there, and there's over 30,000 cars that were flooded that they had to haul off. That's 30,000 families. That's not just 30,000 cars. 30,000 families are now without transportation. So when I heard that about Carmacks, and it's not just them donating cars, he was telling me we're seeing this more and more. Home Depot, they're setting up foundations. So our big corporations, it's a smart business decision. And so Carmacks has gone so big, the smart business decision, just like Bill Gates did with Microsoft, set up a foundation and then grant that money out to nonprofits. So Corliss, not just thinking about them donating cars, let's dive into their foundation and get some funding. Let's look at the funding application and get funding from that also. We'll get cars and funding. It's an and world, right?
I'll take it. I will take it. Look, it's dream big. It's not go small. It's dream big or go home.
I love it. Love it. Well, awesome, Corliss. That's awesome. And each week we'll be getting updates on the families you're working with, and I can't wait to meet them. You can bring some of mom with you, and that's what this is all about.
Yes, one of the questions that was asked was, do I have an interpreter? Because some of the families are just Spanish speaking. I had never thought about that.
Wow.
I had never thought about that. So thank God I have a friend that is fluent in conversational Spanish, but I also have to get all of my documents translated to Spanish as well. So it's a good time.
This is great. And again, you guys, as being a nonprofit, we got all of ours, brochures, everything. We got it translated, and the community college did it for us at no cost. And so go meet with the community colleges.
Absolutely. See? That's on your
Thanks. That's a great tip. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, remember the connecting checklist. Got to check off every box, right? All right.
Hey, I see Brandon. Come on, we don't let anybody off the hook. Hey, Brandon. Is he on?
Don't be bashful now.
I see him.
Yeah, we have Skip on as well. Just to mention earlier with Skip, just continuing, that work that we're doing with the Positive Action Coalition, which includes the Positive Action platform. That's really going to be the central hub for a lot of these stories and media from our Positive Action Coalition, our Purpose Pioneers. So we're going to be talking a lot about that at the summit as well, and very, very excited to be able to unveil that and highlight our coalition using that platform.
Hey, and I see some of our Purpose Pioneers. Hey, I'm going to do a shout out. Ken, Rose. Who else do I see on here? Chantel. I see a lot of our Purpose Pioneers. So you guys, we're looking so forward 2 weeks from today. Amazing.
Yeah, then that's kind of a good little point here for everyone that's on and participating. If you're on the phone or if you're on laptop, but I know just looking at the attendees on who's coming to the Purpose Summit. But just real quick, I'd love to see, just as we're kind of in our final few minutes here, if you see the feature on your control panel where you can raise your hand, look at your control panel where you can raise your hand. Who is all attending the Purpose Summit? Who's with us today? I'd love to see that.
Woo! This is awesome.
All right, this is great. Keep those hands up. Again, on your control panel, a little feature where you can raise your hand. click that, and we can actually see that. So we have Adele, we have Duncan, Frederick, Juliet, Ken, who's just up the road actually from us, Linda, Rose, Yvette. Wow, this is great.
Oh.
So just in our meeting right here, we see people that have already got their tickets and they will be joining us in Albuquerque. That's amazing. I just love seeing that.
Oh wow, you guys are got way when you.
Now let's do this real quick. Sorry to jump in. This is for something a little fun. Those of you that saw just on this little Purpose Friday meeting on who's attending, our Purpose Pioneers, we have, again, they're probably done by the end of the day as far as ticket sales within our office, but who would like to attend? Raise your hand. Okay, so if you don't have a ticket yet, but you would like to attend, also just raise your hand. Be also curious to see, because we have a few left. I think just a couple of days ago we had, or not even a couple of days ago, I think it was Wednesday, we only had, I think, 14 tickets left, 13 tickets left. That's not that, it sounds like a lot, but that's not that many, really. That's just about it, the last handful, and that was 2 days ago. So I'm not sure if it's Brandon, but yeah, so look at, there's some hands going up for people who want to attend. That's great, you guys. So get in touch with our office. But at the end of the day today, I definitely recommend, because again, you have limited space, and all the spots have just about been reserved, and it's kind of like your last chance actually today. But we're just thrilled. We actually, just to give you a little tidbit, I was actually at the venue this morning touring around for our setup and working with the organizers there on what we're going to have in store for everyone in Albuquerque, including our special little networking events, our socializing events, right, with the courtyard in this beautiful area. It's New Mexico themed. It's just authentic New Mexico. So it's really cool just picturing it in 2 weeks, how we're going to be here. We'll be in the courtyard here. We're going to have a special guest, or guests, actually, is in the form of, I'm not going to give it away, but the musical performance right there at the venue. So it's just fun just to envision what's going to look like 2 weeks from today.
Hey, and I'm going to add on, because you know how much fun we are at happy hour. They even had a note in there, I think Brandon and Derek came up with, they're getting a purple carpet. Instead of the red carpet, we're taking pictures on the purple carpet. Man, did I love that note.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. All right, we'll give a little spoiler alert. When you walk in, you're not going to be walking into the red carpet because everyone there is special. You're going to be walking down the purple carpet. So.
I love it. Well, and you know, there's some folks that didn't raise their hands. One of the ones, Ruth, I haven't met you ever, but her comments get me fired up every time. Ruth, you are amazing. The comments you put in, the drive. So I want Ruth to be there.
Oh, yeah. I love seeing our attendees on Purpose Fridays. Well, again, everyone, we have just a few more minutes here, and we're going to close this out. But once again, thank you for joining us. Now, Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition, newly titled webinar series, where we join us live with our team and also our Purpose Pioneers, members of our coalition, to discuss what we're actually doing as a coalition, as well as our individual efforts across the country, with not just the recovery efforts for natural disasters that have been happening, but more about just the rebuilding efforts on this front for the entire country, and rebuilding efforts, revitalization efforts of just communities as a whole. You hear just for the ones that are joining us today in Chicago, Arkansas, and Texas, right? Just amazing to connect you guys with those stories and what they're doing live time. And again, how you can take this and really discuss what we talk about here and within your own community to be making an impact, to begin building up a nonprofit corporation that also will take care of you financially. And of course, just because it's just the relative timing with the Purpose Summit, we've come to a close with ticket sales for the event and having just about sold out, and it's 2 weeks away. And we're just thrilled. So I know we've been talking about that today, but we're just so excited. It's our first annual, incredible people that are coming, really more so about being a part of a movement. It's not just an event, or I don't even like the term like workshop, any of that kind of stuff. It's really about the launch of a movement in a bigger way. That's just packed with content, packed with incredible people who are part of our network with Power Purpose, our nonprofits, who, again, are investors, who are business leaders, who are nonprofit experts with members of our team, all working together as a movement. And that's the most exciting thing, to be able to convey that to you in this kind of training format with what we're doing and the what's working now and where it's going and where to be moving forward. Just over the moon thrilled. We can't wait to see all of you there in Albuquerque in 2 weeks.
And I have to do a special, not have to, I get to do a special thanks to Skip Thomas. Skip joined us. We came together over a year ago and knew there was a reason, and we just stayed connected. And Skip has really taken the lead in the Positive Action platform, the video. He captures our hearts, our emotions in the biggest way through video. And I've had the honor of working side by side with Skip and setting up his nonprofit. And Skip is very connected and had lifetime achievements and lots in the financial world. And Skip years ago said, there's more to life than just making money. And Skip followed his purpose. And I've had the honor now of side by side helping him set up his nonprofit corporation. And the things we're going to see coming out of Amplifying Truth and what he's doing, the people he has around him. And Skip, I just want to send out a deep gratitude for what you've done with us, and came to our mastermind event with our Purpose Pioneers for 3 days and just was behind his camera 3 days, 24/7, capturing everything. And the documentation of this journey of the Positive Action Coalition and the platform that him and Derek, you're going to see the platform grow. You guys, the Positive Action platform. And Skip, to even get emails going, okay, I got my bank account now. just an amazing journey. Just keep me fired up knowing that we're able to be a part of growing your purpose journey.
Well, thank you. Excited to be a part of it as well. And thank you for all your support and meeting these amazing people I met back in Albuquerque, and looking forward to it here in a few weeks again. And just building the Amplifying Truth website and getting the nonprofit set up. We're getting closer and closer, and it's just going really well. So excited about it. But what it can do to help be a voice for everybody out here, and so many needs. It seems like, it's like we make one step, and all of a sudden you look around and there's 10 more steps that need to be made every day in this country. And so really happy to play a small role with you people on the front line. So,
well, if you have a small role, then all of us have small roles together. It's a huge role. So that's a great way to put it. We all have our small role, and if we all step into that and keep that space there together, it's huge. So Skip, thank you, and all of you, Marianne, Corliss, Richard, guys, we've become a family. And I can tell you the Purpose Summit is unlike any other event, training, workshop, whatever you've been to. When you get a room full of people that are filled with purpose, that are following what they're meant to do, when you read The Alchemist and you really look at what's life about, and when you're in a room full of folks that are all about that, the energy is off the walls. We have real estate trainers, some of the biggest, I'm sure a lot of you trained with, they've even come to the events and said, whoa, this is like nothing I've ever experienced. Because it's not just about learning how to make a bunch of money. That is part of it. That's the biggest part of it. But it's making a lot of money with a purpose. And so come and join us at Purpose Summit. It's going to be the beginning. Derek, you summed it up perfect. It's the beginning of a movement that's taken this country by storm.
Absolutely. Come join our movement. 2 weeks. Today's the last day, so take advantage, everyone. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, especially all of our Purpose Pioneers. You guys are, again, you're the reason why we do what we do. So thank you for being with us and sharing with our audience today. So we will see you next week, same time, same place, right? 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And then again, we'll be off the next Friday following that because we'll be at the Purpose Summit in Albuquerque. Okay, so make sure today's the last day. Let's get that in, and we'll see you in Albuquerque. And everyone again, and of course, Mom, right, Sherry Watson, the one and only as always. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for sharing. And I can't wait for everyone to join us in Albuquerque.
All of you guys. And Derek always holding the place for us, making it happen. So thank you from all of us. Marianne, Skip, Corliss, Richard, our Purpose Pioneers. We all want to share our gratitude for you always holding that place and making this happen, Derek.
Oh, you bet. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition.
All right.
Bye,
Bye guys.
everyone.